Okay, so today, it was like Spirit was telling me about, just sort of speaking your mind pockets, because it's like sometimes we get so caught up in thinking that we end up missing out on something, and I've noticed more and more that they keep talking about intuition, and intuition, what that means to me is, it's like kind of when you picture something in your mind, or you think about something in your mind, and it's like just that flashing moment, or you look at something and you think, just for a second, it hones in, you hone in on it, and it's like you just gotta follow that sometimes. Sometimes you gotta follow that. I mean, you don't have to, but it's all about, you have the decision to do whatever. And they were talking about, how everything changes when you make a different decision. Like, decisions are really important, because it doesn't matter what decision you make, it's a perfect decision. And following your intuition just switches things up a bit. So it's like whenever I make a different decision, when I don't think about it and I just follow it, it literally changes everything in my current reality. And I've noticed more and more that when, like today for example, I was looking for my wallet, so I went over to where I thought it was in my car, and it wasn't in there. And it's really funny because I do that with a lot of things. I think about where I put it last, and I really shouldn't even think about it. I just go for exactly where I think it might be. So then I went to the car, and it wasn't in there, and I was a little confused, and I was like, why didn't I put it where I normally put it? And then I hear Spirit say, well, maybe you need to just go look around. Maybe wherever you put it is something that you actually need. Maybe there's something there that Spirit wants to show you. So I'm like, hey, good point, alright. So then I walk into the house, and I walk over to the table, and I see it laying on a piece of paper. So I take the wallet off and I look at the paper, and then I'm kind of like reading it, and then Spirit's like, well, maybe it's just the texture. So I start feeling the paper, and then I realize that while I'm feeling the paper, my mind is so out of the way because I'm feeling something, my senses are distracting me, that I just look at the paper. And it's like I look at the color, and they're like, see, this is the color of a new generation. And the color of the paper was this blue color, but it made me think of mint. And I'm really honing in on mint because I really like mint. And it's funny because my hair kind of looks like mint. And it was supposed to be this blue color, but it just sort of turned into whatever I wanted to turn into. And I actually have been picking up all this mint stuff without even really thinking about it. I got this, those chocolates with the stuff in the center? They're like little squares, and I like the color of it. I like the fact that mint is this light green, but there's also white mint, and I mean, I guess mint can be any color. And I thought also what was interesting about that is that, everything has a complementary color, and I see that, and I can see that, whatever I'm looking at, if you just kind of look at it for a while, and then move your eyes somewhere else, you can actually see the complementary color, like a photo color. It's kind of like when you're outside and you're looking at the scene, and then you kind of close your eyes, you can actually see the scene, but it's just the complementary colors. So when I was looking at the mint color, because that hat that I wear in my other videos is also mint colored, when I look at that, it's also raspberry, because it's like the complementary color, but it's completely complementary. So it's not just red and green, it's like every shade. So we got the mint, so then it's like the complementary color to that is kind of like the soft raspberry. And I thought that was kind of funny because last night I was looking at the bag of those chocolates, and there's a couple different flavors in there. So I was turning around, I was just kind of looking at all the different options you can have, and I saw one that was raspberry, and it's like I didn't even think about the way raspberry tasted. I just saw the color of that chocolate brown with the raspberry color. It's like this fuchsia red, and I really like that color because it's like purple and red together, and purple and red are like on the opposite spectrum. So you got red, that is the slower vibration, but it's got a much higher amplitude, so it actually sends over longer distances because it's so much more like strong and intense. It's like it's the bass line. Actually, they've been talking a lot about bass line, and there's also a song out called the bass line or something about bass. And oh yeah, it's called I'm All About That Bass. And it's like you got that one. It's like big waves, you know, big amplitude, and it sends out throughout the whole cosmos. Like that's the cosmological constant, because it's also the blood in our body, so it makes sense that that would be a life force energy in the root chakra. And like and then you have on the opposite side, you got the purple vibration, this real vibrant purple. And that's like, it's like really fast, so the amplitude isn't quite as strong. It's not as strong as the other one, but it's like this, it's almost like the red side is the big muscle groups, and then you've got the purple side, and that's sort of like your dexterity, you know, the meticulous perfection, where you can actually move your fingers and stuff instead of just things like, say, your quads or something like that. It's a smaller muscle group that's just meant to be like a movement, and it's like more about movement than it is about strength. Oh wow, I didn't even think of that. That's pretty cool. I don't really know where I was going with that. I just sort of went with it. Yeah. So I guess that's all I have to share for right now. Oh yeah, okay, so wait, let me finish. I just remembered. So it's like when I was looking at that paper and I got lost in the feeling of it, and then I look, and then they're like, well, the color. So I'm looking at the color of the paper, and the color of the paper is this real light blue, this real soft light blue. And I was like, oh, I like that color. So then I'm just kind of like looking at the color, and I'm thinking the complementary color of that would be like this, probably this reddish color, but a little different. It's like a soft red, like a soft fuchsia maybe. And then I'm like flipping around, and I turn over the paper, and then it says energy and something, and then I saw the word energy, and of course that makes me excited, because you know, I see the frequencies and I feel the frequencies, and it's just energy in a different expression, and that can be tasted and it can be felt. And you know, when you get excited, you can feel that. Whoa, it's like when you get excited about something, or you feel the, man, I can feel it right now. It's like when you get excited about something, or if you feel the different temperatures, and that feeling that you get, that prickly feeling that raises the hair on your arms. Actually, I got it right now. I don't know if you can see that. But that feeling, it's almost like it's not even cold at all, because if the highest expression is love and excitement, and that gives you goosebumps, like it excites your cells, like it feels like it'll come right up your spinal cord. Wait, there we go. Yeah, spinal cord. So it's like, you know, I got this tattoo because of healing, because of the healing properties of touching, you know, and your heart and your mind working together, and it just sends up your spinal cord. And I think I got this because I think that's healing. So it's like every time you feel that electricity move up your spinal cord and you can feel it, it's the same. I just felt it again. It's like the same thing as temperature, because I feel that when it's cooler out, but really it's like creating a new solution within my own little cells, my own little solar systems inside of my body, which is a lot of solar system possibilities. And it's just creating a new planet. Like it's literally creating new planets inside of my body. Because, you know, science, they're like, oh, we found another planet. Oh, we found a whole star cluster. And, oh, there's a new star cluster being born here. And it's completely endless. So it's like every time I pick up on that, you know, every time we pick up on that temperature difference, it's like, it feels like we're being infused with new planets, like new possible outcomes, new possibilities. And all these little planets, they move throughout your body, and it feels like a motion, like it flows all the way from, like, you know, you can tell where it comes from. I mean, sometimes it's just one location, or sometimes it starts from the bottom and goes up, or sometimes it's only just my legs. That's really cool. So I'm totally looking at things much different, and I really wanted to share that because I feel like when we let different things in that we maybe normally wouldn't, you find that you're infused with maybe a totally different frequency. And a frequency is also a color and something tangible. So it's like we're infused with a whole new taste, we're infused with a whole new sound, and we're infused with a whole new color and a whole new feeling. And it always feels so good because it's just these tingly mint. Yeah, it's like this mint, and I always think mint is this cleaning, like it's cleansing and it's soothing. And I always imagine, or I know that peppermint, you know, mint in general, if you have mint tea, it soothes your stomach. It's supposed to be a stomach soother. So it's like, wow, when I think about it, because just a little bit earlier, before I thought of this now, my stomach was feeling a little upset. So it's like everything that I did after that, without even realizing it up until this very moment, was really just to soothe my stomach. Just to add a little mint to the party. A mint party. Yeah. And then I ended up, so then I put the paper down, and then I see my cat on the couch, and they were looking so cute. So then I ended up loving on the cat. And it was like I totally forgot why the heck I was even looking for my wallet, because I just kept moving on to the next possibility. So then I look at my computer, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll check my email. But then in that moment, I realized something that I wanted to express, and I was like, wow, it's almost like thinking I needed my wallet actually turned into making another video. And sometimes, you know, not staying the course and just picking up the breadcrumbs that lead you to something else ends up being so magical, because then I just let it flow through me instead of trying to make it perfect. It is perfect. This is exactly what I should be doing right now. And I always try to like think about a theme or think about a reason for the video, but more and more Spirit just says, you know, just do it, you know, just talk, just feel what's going on, and then it just starts flowing. Because there's a few times where I actually stop in the video and I'm like, I feel like I had more to say, but I'm not feeling anything. And then when I just sort of lose it, like lose it, I mean, you know, you just sort of like hone out and you stop for a second and you're totally in the moment, and then I have something else to say. Oh, that's so cool. So I'm just really, you know, now I'm just really exploring, like, sometimes when you don't know what to do and you don't know what to say, sometimes it's like, instead of talking, you just gotta listen. Because it's both. Because you've got yourself, and then you've got your cellmates. You've got the people around you, and then you've got your environment, and then you've got your little cell buddies on the inside. You're tingling right now, actually, as I say that. You've got all your little cellmates, and it's like, if you don't, you can express yourself any way you want, but sometimes if you find yourself in a moment where you don't know what to say or do, it's like, well, maybe something else is talking to you. Maybe, maybe the reason for doing this is really just bringing you to this. And this morning I was actually looking for my toothbrush. I was looking for my toothbrush. So I couldn't find it, and I looked in all the places I thought it was, and I was like, oh well, I'll just, do something else and maybe it'll just happen. So, some of the day went by, and then I realized I needed something out of my, like, satchel. I got this Sonic the Hedgehog satchel. I really like Sonic the Hedgehog. It's pretty cool. Um, so then I went upstairs and I was looking for something in my satchel, and I saw my toothbrush in there. I was like, what? Of course. It's like, I don't even, whatever I was looking for in the satchel, I totally forgot about, because in all reality, maybe I didn't actually need the item that was inside the satchel that I was thinking about. What it was a way of pulling me out of looking for one thing, because I clearly couldn't remember exactly where I put it, but it was like spirit led me in a way that made me think I needed something else. I mean, maybe I needed both of them, but at that point it was like just to bring me to where I wasn't thinking about. It's really it's so amazing, because I should have shared this a while ago, but it's my cells keep getting excited because it's perfect. It's perfect. Sometimes when you get frustrated about finding something, just letting it go and just following your breadcrumbs actually finds you what you're looking for at just the right time. Maybe I had other things that I need to hone in on and pick up on, or maybe I had to be in a certain place, because it's not just us. There's also the environment, and there's also the Akashic records, which are like everybody's other dimensional beings and life past lives, and they're all in this soup that we walk through. So sometimes it's not just these things around here, or just these things around here. Sometimes they're just like, just listen, just keep moving. I know it doesn't make sense, but just follow it. And every time I go with the flow and I find what I was looking for in that moment, I like sit there and I kind of look up, or not look up, well, yeah, kind of, well, I guess it depends. But I like look to the side, and it's like I produce this smirk, and I'm like, that was awesome. It's like, and in that moment I feel even more infused, and I feel like, and then spirit's like, yay, like we like to watch you follow this journey, and just like, even if it doesn't make sense, you just sort of take your mind pockets and whatever you thought about before, and whether or not something makes sense, because this is a totally new world and it actually makes perfect sense, and you end up making bigger changes and enjoying life way more if you just take your brain. The analytical side doesn't have to always be there all the time. You shove it out the way for a little while, and you just go with the flow. And it's like every day I'm just this like excited child, and it's a new environment because I have all these different senses. Wow, it's like this sixth sense is just, all it means is that you're just going with the flow, because this sixth sense of being able to see all these Akashic records is like everyone's interdimensional beings, and they're all over the place, and they just want you to realize that they're so magical and awesome, because everything is trying to push you into the highest expression of a feeling, into your highest self, and they just want you to experience it so that you can sort of lose yourself in the moment, and then you don't have to it's like you're never really lost, because sometimes when you lose yourself in the moment, when you find something, like when you hone in on that message of like not where something doesn't make sense, but then you go with the flow, and then something you had asked for before, something that you had thought of or were wanting at the time or thinking you were needing, actually just pops up. And then by stopping in that moment, it's like that's glorification for them. That I can hear them, like they get all excited, my cells get excited, and it's like this very soothing moment of just relaxing, and you're just like, wow, what a perfect plan that was. And you don't even have to plan it. Plan it. That's funny. See, just by realizing that, it's like I can feel them all around me, and they just get so excited. They just keep telling me, like, just keep talking. Just keep talking. If you have to think about everything, then it just looks uncomfortable. It looks, well, I mean, it's all perfect. But it's like, you just keep moving through it. That free association, that free writing, that free movement. You just find yourself exactly where you should be. Which is all the time. Yeah, you just shove time aside and you are right on time all the time. This is amazing. See, I didn't even think I'd have much to talk about, but I actually have a lot to talk about. Because I'm like speaking their minds and their hearts. And sometimes when you say something, other people are actually looking, maybe they ask a question in their Akashic records. So it's like when you speak out when you think about something or you wonder about something, you're literally, speaking to everyone's Akashic records, and then they're like, all right, how can we orchestrate this so that they can find it? But it's all about sort of looking for little clues every now and then, because they are speaking to you, and they can give you any answers that you want in any sense, any of the senses that you have. So if you don't know the answer to something, sometimes if you just stop asking, you stop thinking about it, stop stuttering about it. If you just hone in on a different sense, maybe the answer is right there. Oh, yep. That's cool. That's cool, right? So many integral parts to this. And the more I follow it, the more and more happy I am, because the more I realize how many messages are all over the place. And even my vision gets even more clear with all this light and these light bodies. It's like, it's so cool. Oh, I just got that tingly feeling again. Okay. Alright, that's all I got for now. Thanks for watching.